have a cozy evening together. I also picked up some new books. And I got this new sticker book. So we'll have a little chat, a little catch up. Very connected with the characters. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be spending a cozy evening together. It is obviously autumn time. We're coming into winter very soon. It's almost Christmas. Now I have already started getting all my stuff ready for Christmas. For me, the Christmas prep and celebrations begin essentially right after Halloween. I'm not a huge Halloween person myself, but I love holidays. I love the festive season. I love, you know, this time of the end of year where everything is just cozy, and this is honestly where I kind of go into my hibernation mode. So I've kind of overdone my summer. I've been so busy back to back with work and, you know, a lot of social activities. So I have said that in November, I'm not really doing anything. I'm going to stay at home. I'm going to relax. I'm going to rest. I'm going to look after my body. I'm going to look after myself. I'm going to make more time for switching off and cozy hobbies, because I find myself falling back into my workaholic tendencies, and that is not always a great thing. So this evening I'm kind of wanting to do some things to stay off my phone. That will obviously include cozy activities like reading, but also I'm going to try and tackle my scrapbook, which I haven't touched since March of last year. And I have a whole year and a half's worth of scrapbooking things. I've gotten some new stickers and I kind of just want to like start doing that. I don't think I'll be able to obviously finish it all in one night, but I thought we could put on some YouTube or an audiobook, do some reading. I have an evening at home because Cammy's away today with work. So it's gonna be me and Cooper hanging out, chilling and spending an evening together. Now it's 6:30 p.m. now. I've fed and I've walked Cooper, I've taken her out, and all I really need to do is just start my evening. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have a shower. It is not my hair washing day, but I think anyone with like a fringe or bangs will understand that I'm trying not to use as much dry shampoo on it as I usually do. So I think I'm just gonna wash my fringe and then braid my hair so that tomorrow it's kind of like wavy. But as you can probably tell, the Christmas bedding is on. I've spent the week starting to bring out the Christmas decor. It's time for the winter PJs to come out. So let's have a cozy evening together. So just had a shower. I've obviously got my merch on and a pajama set, nice and comfy and cozy. I'm gonna put some under eye patches on because I feel like I want a full self-care experience today. I know, oh, that feels so good. They're nice and cold. I keep them in the fridge, but I just put the fat, like biggest side underneath my eyes for the most hydration there. I'm gonna put this on before I put any of my skincare products on, just so that it doesn't interact with anything. I'll usually use the ones from Pixie Beauty, but I've had these in my fridge for ages. I'm just trying to use them up before opening up any of the other ones, just so we prevent some waste. But I've obviously got my little skincare and hair care tray here, and I'm gonna put my Hair and Me prescription in my hair because I've been using that for almost a month now, actually. Just trying to take better care of my scalp and help my hair growth. And I'm just gonna braid my hair in two, but I'm gonna start a little bit higher up than usual and make it nice and tight so that it gives me more of a wave. Whenever I do my braids like this, it makes my hair look like two single strands of hair. Just doing them as tight as I can and from higher up so that the waves start higher up. But this will make me have like mermaid wavy hair tomorrow, which is what I want because we're going out to celebrate Cammy's birthday tomorrow night and birthday dinner. And I am lazy. I try to do as many heatless hairstyles and curling and waving and styling as I can through the week, unless I kind of have like a big event or something. So that's part of the setup right now. I'm gonna wait another 5-10 minutes with these under eye patches on, so we'll have a little chat, a little catch up. I've spoken about it I think quite a lot in recent videos and vlogs, but I have spoken about the fact that I am hopefully going to be moving in the new year, it's just, I don't think anyone is wanting to buy or sell houses around Christmas time, you know? So I am mentally kind of checked out with my apartment, with the space I'm living in, because I'm like, I can't really decorate. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to invest in more because I'm going to be moving anyways. And I have, like I said at the start of this video, started decorating for Christmas. I am doing Bookmas, I'm doing Vlogmas, and I think I'm going to be doing a video every other day on the lead up to Christmas, starting on the 1st. So I think that actually technically gives us 13 videos. So I'm quite excited for that. I've started planning for that. I have some really exciting videos and content and everything coming up. But I love watching Vlogmas and Bookmas. If you guys have any creators that you love watching their Vlogmas or Bookmas every year, let me know in the comments below, because I'm always looking for new Vlogmas and Bookmas videos to like binge and keep up to date with. I think Vlogmas is one of my favorite parts about Christmas, is just getting to watch people upload festive themed content, because Christmas is definitely my most favorite time of the year. So really excited for that, really loving that. I love giving people gifts. I love wrapping presents. I love staring at a Christmas tree. And like I said, I have started decorating for Christmas, but I'm gonna wait for Vlogmas to show you guys all of that, because I think I'm gonna start vlogging my lead up to the Christmas prep and things, and then I can show you guys at the very start of Vlogmas. So I've got that to look forward to if you enjoy Vlogmas or Bookmas videos. I think Edinburgh this time of year is just extra pretty and special, so I've got some ideas of some, you know, Edinburgh themed bookish festive vlogs and things to come. But if there's anything in particular that you want to see that I haven't done in a while or I've never done, let me know in the comments below. Right now, kind of getting off track, ADHD and all, but because of the fact that I'm hoping to move, I've started putting some of my special editions and my hardcovers and books into my storage cupboard and packing them away, because I'm just running out of room in my office. And I was noticing that I was getting a little bit of sun damage on my TBR cart and stuff, and it's not really a problem now with the sun setting and rising even later now that it's getting into, you know, autumn and winter. It's more of like a spring summer problem, so I need to be a little bit careful with that. But I kind of have piles of books around my office at the moment that I need to organize and sort, but they're kind of my TBR for the upcoming month. So there's a few books that I need to, or want to basically, read, and I'm trying to get up to date with all the series that I'm in the middle of and complete them. So I'm kind of binging series one after the other at the moment, but there's a few books that I got one or two that I need to finish up, so I'm prioritizing a couple of those this month, as well as my November TBR that we pulled together from my TBR jar. And then I'm currently reading Bone Island, like the second Hollow Heathens books. I think I started reading that in my mood reading vlog. We read book 1 and I enjoyed that. So I've started book 2, and book 2 is one of those books on Kindle where I'll read 3 pages and the page count only goes up 1. Like, it's an extra long book. So it's taking me a little bit to get through it, but I'm 30% of the way through, and I would like to get as close to finishing it as I can this evening, which means I'm gonna probably spend most of my evening reading that book. But like I said, I want to do some scrapbooking and some crafty stuff at the moment. I just feel like I have been extra tired and extra on the cusp of burnout lately because I've not prioritized enough rest time for myself. I've not prioritized enough relaxing time. But I'm trying to stop my scrolling, because it's so easy to doom scroll nowadays. You open up an app and then you're suddenly 2.5 hours into brain rot TikToks, you know. But anyways, I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort of putting my phone in another room, or I'm doing something that helps me switch off a little bit, and cozy crafts do that. I also have like a knit kit that I want to start doing soon, but I said once I started organizing my scrapbook, then I can start knitting myself a jumper, because it would be cool to be able to wear it in the winter. So I need to get around to starting that soon. So we'll do that. And knowing me, give me a weekend with a lot of audiobooks and I'll be able to knit an entire jumper in a couple days. So I want to get through that task, but for me to do that I have to do this other task first, because that's the way that my brain works. But anyways, we're going to take this off. That was just a little yap about probably absolutely nothing but my current thoughts. And I'm just going over this same skincare products that I always use and love. So we have the niacinamide by The Ordinary. This is the one serum I cannot live without. I also knew that I was getting a little bit too stressed and not prioritizing enough rest when I obviously started just feeling more generally unwell, but my skin was breaking out because of said stress and not enough rest. And now that I've started prioritizing more time to just say no a little bit more, focusing on setting healthy boundaries with work and making enough time for me to switch off without feeling guilty for it, it's already started to improve and get better. I'm going in with this caffeine eye cream. Technically, I think you're supposed to use this in the AM. Oh, actually it says AM and PM. But I love an eye cream, especially after I've just put on an eye mask. My CeraVe moisturizing lotion. And then I also use the CeraVe reparative hand cream. I didn't even know CeraVe did a hand cream until I went on holiday this year, and then I saw it in a pharmacy while I was on holiday and I picked it up, and it's genuinely my favorite hand cream. Is the best one. I'm someone who uses hand cream every day. I love my hand cream. And then my favorite like lip balm, lip treatment is the Ole Henriksen ones, and they recently released a vanilla bonbon scent. This is incredible. It is my favorite. I'm using it all the time. I've already asked for some more for Christmas, but I'm obsessed with this. And they have like tinted colored ones as well, and the creme brulee is the one that I will always use with any lip liner when I do my makeup. My fringe is a little crazy and needs to set. That's just I washed it and then just blow dried it, so that will settle down a bit. I'm gonna put my glasses on, and I think I actually might put some food on first, have some like put some dinner on and start like scrapbooking and getting that set up so I can do that this evening, because I'm already starting to feel a bit peckish. So let's do that first. Let's make some dinner. I also picked up some new books from TG Jones, which was formerly known as WH Smith. They're now TG Jones, and I got a couple books, but I got to pick up some books of series that I'm in the middle of and things that are like on my TBR but I didn't have physically or had started reading, or I need to read before I can read some of the books on my TBR. So I finally picked up The Kiss of Deception. I just picked up the first book in the Remnant Chronicles, so I can finally read that and see. I didn't want to pick up the whole series just in case it wasn't for me, so I thought I'd get the first book and then decide if I'm going to read the whole trilogy, and then I can jump into The Dance of Thieves duology by Mary E. Pearson, because the Kiss of Deception trilogy comes first. I also got books 3 and 4 in the Bridge Kingdom series, so we got The Inadequate Heir and The Endless War, because this series is sets of duologies. A lot of people told me that they preferred books 3 and 4 to books 1 and 2, and I did enjoy books 1 and 2, but I was a little bit underwhelmed. Like, it wasn't a favorite, but I thought it was good. So I'm hoping that I enjoy these even more and can get really into it. And I think the audiobooks are free to listen to on Audible if you have an Audible subscription. I could be wrong there, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So it might be ones that like tandem read. And then I was waiting for book number 3 to be published before I picked up book 2, because I read the first book in the Ashes of Thesma trilogy. I read the first book in one of my, I think it was the first Fairy Loot reading vlog I actually did, because I had the Fairy Loot copy and I really enjoyed that. I preferred that book, I think, to the Legends of Thesma series, and the Ashes of Thesma is a spin-off. So I read Iron and Embers book 1, and then Thorns and Fire book 2 came out, but then also Silver and Smoke book 3 came out. So Helen Schurer was really publishing multiple books this year. I don't know how she did that, but I thought there wasn't too much of a wait for book 2 and 3, that I may as well just wait for them both to come out so that they're fresh in my head and I can binge them. So I picked up those 2 books, so that will be another trilogy that we can potentially complete this year, hopefully. And then I also got Princess of Blood by Sarah Hawley. Now the book was coming out in hardcover, and I thought I could pay to read it on my Kindle and download it, because book 1 was on Kindle Unlimited but book 2 isn't, or at least the last time I checked it wasn't. But I read book 1 on Kindle Unlimited, but I really enjoyed book 1, so I want to get a physical copy of book 2. The hardcover is currently sold out, so I thought I'll just get the hardcover of it, because then I can just continue picking up the book series as it comes out rather than having to wait for a paperback, because I like to read a full matching set. I don't want to have to get a paperback first and then wait 2 years for a paperback release to read book 2, and I'm not going to pay twice to read a book on Kindle and physically. So I just thought it made sense to pick up the hardcover. And then I have some Waterstones points on my accounts where I can pick up a couple books with a gift card, so I think I'll see if I can try and scout for book 1 there, because they were currently sold out on TG Jones. So that's a little mini haul of some of the books that I have recently, and I've kind of got a couple of these in mind to read before the end of the year, so quite excited about that. And then it means finally as well I can pick up the Dance of Thieves duology and get through more of the books on my physical TBR. But anyways, I am hungry now, so let's put on some food. I am craving fish for dinner, so we're having some baked cod and that's gonna cook in the oven, and I'm gonna set a timer and start scrapbooking and then eat that when that's ready because I'm actually really hungry now. So I have my scrapbook set up here. It's actually May last year was the last time that I had done anything in it. I kind of just have like a page for each month, but I only kind of did the first 5 months of 2024 and then I didn't do it again. And I was meaning to do a month each year this year alongside when I would do my book journal and stuff, but I was waiting to get more supplies and then I never did it, and then it just kind of like fell off. But I've been collecting almost 2 years worth of you know, memories and things to put into my sketchbook, and I do want to continue it because it's really fun to look back on. I've always loved to do like little sketchbooks or junk journals or, you know, things like this. So I do want to try and prep the backlog of things, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to do like a full year and a half worth of scrapbooking today. So I'm going to start pinning and planning and mapping things out, and then hopefully by the new year have it all done, work on a little bit as I go. So that's the plan. I might start with like the current month and then work my way back. That might be easier, but I think I'm just gonna put on some YouTube and just honestly sit here for the next half an hour while my fish cooks and do as much of my scrapbooking as I can, and then maybe do a bit after I've had a little bit of a food break as well. But that's my evening plan. I can't find an audiobook for the book I'm currently reading. I don't really want to start another book while I'm just under halfway through a book that I'm actively reading. So I'll just do this, and then it means that I can hop into bed and do some reading once I finish doing my scrapbooking for the evening. So that's the plan. So we're gonna do some scrapbooking now, so you'll see a time lapse of that. Okay, so the half an hour timer has gone off. Time for me to do my food. I ended up making like 2 pages for September, but I'm not very good at scrapbooking, like at all. So I kind of just shove everything onto the page and do like a collage quite simply. But I got this new sticker book from, well, I saw a girl I follow on Instagram. She made these, Natasha Ahmed, and they went up for pre-order, so I pre-ordered it. And it's hundreds of stickers, and I asked Cami if it was worth the investment of buying a sticker book like this, because a little bit on the spenny side, but you get over 1,000 stickers, so the price per sticker, Cami told me, was worth it. So I did splurge a little bit on this, but thought of it as an investment sticker book and also supporting a creator. So got this. I have like stickers and ribbons and washi tape and other bits that I can go on and decorate and write bits, but I have a collage for September generally, and then also like our Paris trip and our engagement, because we took a lot of photos during that trip. I kept like the bag from the bookstore that I went to. Cami collected the receipt from where we had our dinner the night of our engagement. Cami's always collecting like receipts and things like that for me to put in my scrapbook, even though he knows I do my scrapbook, but we both know that I haven't actually done it yet, you know? So he's helped me collect little memorabilia and tickets and stuff on every trip we've been on this year. It was actually a lot easier to do than I had thought, and I have a lot of stuff for the summer. So I might just go back and start figuring out what I'm going to put on each page and do the other ones after I've had some food. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I think it's quite cute as it is, so that's fun. And that is my dinner. Time to take a little dinner break. One thing about me and my hyperfocus is I will lock in and then lose all track of time. So it's been like 3 hours of me just doing this, but I have September's spread pretty much like where I'm happy with it. And then I've kind of just gone and pinned the stuff that I'm going to use for the other spreads. I've like half laid them out and all that, but I've just put a little, what's it called? Paperclip with all the things correlating to that month that I need to use or want to use for the dates, so that when I next decide that I want to do some scrapbooking, I can just go and get some more craft supplies and stuff. But I want to get some more scrapbooking paper and things like that, because yeah, June is only like half done. So is July and August, they're half done. I've got more things I need to put on them, so they'll all probably end up looking like this, quite like junk journal scrapbook. Basically just a collage of everything, of the memories and feelings, little bits and pieces from that month that I've kept, and notes from friends and family and things that, you know, are fun to look back on. I have my Lady Gaga wristbands, I've got a Metro card, pictures with Cami, receipts, train tickets, plane tickets, postcard from a holiday, cut out from like an event menu, stickers. So I've got a lot still left to do, but we've made a start, and I definitely think maybe by the new year I can have all of my 2025 pages done, which would be good because I want to be able to keep it up for 2026, because I can fit a couple years in each one here. It's a scrapbook I got from Hobbycraft 2 years ago. I'll be able to like put the dates on here, and then hopefully over the years have a few to look back on that we can flick through of, you know, just memories and things like that. So yeah, really nice, really excited, but I'm getting sleepy now. So I've spent more hours doing this than I was expecting and anticipating. I think I'm gonna brush my teeth now and hop into bed with my Kindle, and then maybe do a little bit of reading. So that's probably what I'm gonna spend the rest of my evening doing now, because again, I've spent 3 hours doing this. And I would like to read. I don't think I'm gonna be able to finish my book tonight though. I would have loved to, but I just think that's almost impossible. So I'm gonna read until I start to feel sleepy, but we will brush my teeth and then catch up in bed. She's got a little bald belly. She doesn't have much hair here, but apparently it's all good according to the vets. Oh, belly rub. So Cooper's gonna do some reading with me in bed before we go to sleep, aren't you? She always sleeps in her own bed. If she ever tries to sleep with me in the bed, or if Cami's away for the night and I try to force her to sleep with me in the bed, she will just jump off through the night. You like your own bed and your own personal space, don't you? But we both love a cuddle before we go to sleep. So I will read pretty much here in bed until I get sleepy and go to fall asleep, and then when I go to turn off the lights and everything, Cooper will be put into her own bed. But she's very cute right now. And I do read in bed with an airplane pillow for extra neck support. I just find it comfy. I always have. Some girls have their emotional support teddy bears or blankets. I have an emotional support airplane neck pillow that my mum gave me almost 6 years ago, because I stole it from her when I was staying at her house. And I had my ears pierced on both sides and I was struggling to sleep on the pillow. So I asked her if she had an airplane pillow that I could put my head in, like the gap, and I never gave it back. And the reason that I love this neck pillow so much is because you can take the cover off and wash it. But it's very, very comfy. If you've not read with a neck pillow before in bed, I would highly recommend trying it out. But like I said, the book that I am currently reading, I know you want some cuddles right now, is Bone Island, Book of Danvers. It's the Tales of Weeping Hollow, Book 2. So The Hollow Heathens is Book 1, and I read that in my mood reading vlog, and I said that I wanted to pick up Book 2 quite soon. I just didn't think that I could pick up the second book in that vlog because this is a long book, and the book is even longer than what I had thought, because like I said, I read 2 pages, the page count doesn't go up. It's just one of those where the way that it's formatted, it's not on the Kindle where it's like you swipe and it's the page, it's longer than that. There is a lot of words and characters in this story, in this formatting. So it feels like you're reading quite a lot, because you are. Isn't that right, Cooper? The series, I think it has been said that you could technically read the books in any order, interconnected, but I think it's a bit more like the Devil's Night series, where each book follows a new set of characters in the story, but there is an overarching plot point, so you kind of do have to read them in order. And I don't think a lot of this, like, world building and the background of characters would make sense if you haven't read book one, because you get the most world building and character backgrounds and the start of the lore and the history through that book. So while you do kind of go into both books a bit blind and you're kind of being gaslit and you don't really know what's going on at the very start, and a big part of the plot is trying to uncover like the mystery and figure things out, if you didn't read book one and you jump straight into book two, you'd be like, huh? But I also think the books have completely different vibes right now. Like, book one was giving more of a typical dark romance for me. It was kind of like if Fairy Tale meets Legacy of Gods or something, you know, like it was more contemporary dark romance. Whereas book two is very, very dark gothic romance, way more like typical gothic romance books that I have read than a traditional dark romance. It's also a lot longer. We are following characters that we were kind of introduced to in book one, but the vibe is just very different, like so different. I don't know, it's at this moment I think I was kind of preferring book one. It was just like a little bit easier to read. This is just way more gothic, and I love a gothic book, but I'm not huge into the gothic genre the same way that some of my friends are, where their bread and butter is gothic books, gothic romance, and dark gothic books. I like a gothic element in a story, but the gothic as a genre, I like to read every now and again. It's not like my favorite. So if you like really gothic books and you like dark romance, you're probably gonna like this. Our MMC is so broody, and also this has a much slower burn compared to book one, though it's still technically not a super slow burn, but it is a much slower start. It eases us into it and it doesn't feel as rushed as book one. Does that make sense? But I have so many questions, and also some things aren't adding up, but thoughts that I had in book one that weren't really like plot holes, but like plot points that weren't resolved, are being discussed and mentioned and are linking into book two. So if you've read book one and you have answers after and you feel like not everything was answered, or you got a lot of questions, we are addressing a few things in book two, so that's pretty good. But I think I'm just gonna sit here now and just read, because I'm probably going to be able to read for another hour, and then we have to go to bed because we spent way too long doing cozy crafts. But it's been a wonderful, relaxing, slow autumnal evening. So I think it's time for me to go to sleep because I'm starting to feel very sleepy. I've read for a little bit. I'm now 55% of the way through. We're almost 400 pages in. So I should be able to finish the book tomorrow, which is great. But I'm starting to really get into the story now, and it definitely has those like gothic seaside vibes. Like the sea ocean vibes are way stronger in book two than book one. So if that's a setting that you like, then definitely would look into picking this up. But I don't know, this series is not at all what I was expecting it to be, but also the two books that are out so far have given me completely different feelings and vibes and feel very different. But they are obviously very connected with the characters and the setting and the plot. So I have some ideas and some theories of where I think it's going to go, but I also don't know. It's keeping me on my toes, that's for sure. So I'm obviously not going to finish this book in this vlog, and I also didn't start it in this vlog. I think it's taking me a total of 4 days to read this book and get through that, because I'm only kind of able to read, you know, 150 pages a day at the moment with this story, but that's to be expected when I'm also spending a little bit more time trying to do some other hobbies like my scrapbooking or playing some Switch and stuff, and it's fun to switch through my different hobbies and make time for different things. And yeah, I'm kind of just taking it day by day at the moment and just reading what I want when I want. But tomorrow I think I'm going to be ready to wrap it up. I feel like I need to know all the answers and the anticipation is killing me. So I'm going to switch off this light and go to sleep now, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for spending an evening with me. If you've made it all the way to the end, comment down below a moon emoji, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.